Ho, ho, ho! It looks like we got another Criterion Collection Blu-ray update here, people. In the holiday season here. So, I have gotten 4 Criterion Blu-rays that all came out this year. And basically my last one for 2023. And technically all of them kind of came out this year, with one of them being a reissue, one getting a standalone release with an additional sequel, and 2 new additions. So I have gotten these Criterions in the special, like throughout almost in the month of December, 10% off discount sale that they have done for the holiday season. They have not done this, I think, ever, so I believe this is the first time ever, and I managed to have good of enough budget so I can get all 4 of these. So these all came out this year, so we are going to go from the order of how I got them out of the box, from all the way here, all the way to over there. So let's start this up with Spy number 1201 from 2021 from Guillermo del Toro and Mark Gustafsson. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, the last Blu-ray release of the Criterion Collection for 2023. This release should have not been a massive surprise, but when I found this out, I was really excited. So, as you might know, what happened last year, we had gotten an animated film in the Criterion Collection for the first time in a long time since Fantastic Planet with Pixar's WALL-E. And a year later, we have now gotten Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which should have not been surprising, because not also this is the recent new Netflix film to be added to the collection, but also since Del Toro is no stranger to the collection, as I already have gotten his 3 films that are in the collection, his debut film Kronos, The Devil's Backbone, and Pan's Labyrinth. So if you have seen my personal Oscar lineup of 2022, you already know that this is already it was already in my personal lineup, as it was an adapted screenplay, director, and best picture. I believe this was my number 4 from this year, so I really do love this one, even with still to this day have not seen the original Walt Disney classic, because this is definitely a really unique approach, because Del Toro has been trying to make this stop-motion film in quite some time. As many of you know, one of the biggest campaigns for Del Toro's speech is that animation is cinema, and that kind of proves it to you with this release. I would say the only thing that is kind of like the weak part of the movie is it is a kind of a musical, and the songs are not really that memorable, honestly. I think all of us can agree, although the acting here is well done, especially Ewan McGregor. I believe that was the one who did the cricket specifically in this movie. I don't think he's called Jiminy Cricket in this. I think it's just called... I have not seen the movie in a few months now, but he is just phenomenal in this movie. And I think his song in the credits is really well done. The animation's really well done. Definitely deserved the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. And it was kind of really shameful this movie did not get recognized in any other categories. And if you saw in my nomination predictions throughout last season, I tried to get this in Best Picture because it has Del Toro's name on it, since it is called Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, but it's just the Academy's discrimination towards it and viewing it as a genre for kids is why it didn't get in for Best Picture. And then again, a lot of people are kind of tired of Pinocchio adaptations, though. Next up, I kind of mentioned this, it's not really a new release, but more of a re-release, and that is Spy number 409 from 1978 from Terrence Malick, Days of Heaven. This is actually a re-release from Criterion, not just in Blu-ray and DVD, but also with the additional 4K reissue of it, which I, of course, don't have. Because this movie was actually out of print right at the beginning of this decade, because, for those who don't remember, a couple of Paramount movies in the beginning of 2020 were announced that, they were not announced, but they have been found out that they were out of print. No other notable films in this, including Nashville, Rosemary's Baby, and even Days of Heaven here. And many people believe, of course, it was because of the Paramount Presents Blu-ray line, which, as I don't have at the moment, because I don't think they have never done that. I think they have done it for Rosemary's Baby in Nashville, but not for Days of Heaven. So Criterion managed to get it back, and they have the physical rights to the movie, and I really did enjoy this movie, because Terrence Malick I was kind of iffy with some of his films. Like The Tree of Life, although there was a good portion of the movie, a lot of them just really bored me. The Thin Red Line was just, although it was watchable, wasn't interesting, and The New World, which I have up there, is definitely a masterpiece. Days of Heaven I really did enjoy. This was an Oscar-nominated movie. This was nominated for a couple of technical categories. Yeah, it was up for sound, original score, costume design, and one for cinematography, but never. But it only got in Best Picture only at the Golden Globes for Motion Picture Drama, and at the Cannes it was nominated for the Palme d'Or, and Malick won Best Director. So, yeah, and it was nominated for a couple of AFI's Top 100 lists, but never made it through. So, it is surprising that they managed to get release this movie when it was out of print for at least almost close to the first half of the decade, and they got this back. So, there is maybe, I don't know if I doubt it, but there is a possibility maybe they can try to reissue Nashville or Rosemary's Baby. Heck, why not do an actual Blu-ray format like this for The Curious Case of Benjamin Button? Our next one is actually, is no stranger to the collection, but it's finally got its standalone Blu-ray release by number 549 from 1971, Peter Bonovich's The Last Picture Show, plus the 1990 sequel, Texasville. I'll get to that in a second. So, The Last Picture Show had finally got its standalone release. It had been part since, in 2010, the America Lost and Found the BBS Story box set. Now it finally has a standalone release. This was one of the bigger Best Picture nominated films of the 1970s, as it was released in 71. Nominated for Picture, Director for Bonovich, Adapted Screenplay, Cinematography, and it got 2 Supporting Actor and Supporting Actress nominations, including Supporting Actress for Ellen Burstyn and 1 for Cloris Leachman, and 1 for Supporting Actor for Ben Johnson, and was nominated for Jeff Bridges' performance, which was Bridges' first Oscar nomination of his career. And honestly, I thought the movie was just okay. Although the black and white was really cool, and it's interesting that they actually did an old woman, young man kind of relationship status with Leachman, and I forget who was the male one. I don't remember if it was Bridges or not, but that was kind of alright. But that's not the reason I got this. It's because of Texasville. And, yeah, I did not know there was a sequel to The Last Picture Show. Texasville was released all the way in 1990, and it stars Jeff Bridges and Cheryl Shepard, once again, and this movie didn't really got great. It was very mixed, more of a disappointment. So basically, it's almost like, it's kind of like another disappointed, like, it's very coincidence was released in 1990, because that and The Godfather Part 3 were both disappointing sequels for many people, so it's interesting they recognized The Godfather Part 3, but no one recognizes Texasville specifically, because if I'm correct, it was released earlier in the year, if I'm looking this up, because, no, it was released in September, so a lot of people probably see it, but I'm surprised I did not know there was a sequel to this, and probably if you're watching this video, you did not know it. So, it's kind of like with the release of Shaft, where they added, I believe, Shaft by Law, which I actually have not watched that yet. I don't know why. But since this one did, because unlike that one where it did not inform me in the cover, although I really should have paid attention to what the features were going, at least they said plus Texasville in the cover. So that's the reason why, and I actually really like Texasville. So, although I didn't really understand it, it was still an entertaining movie to watch. The last one, it was the one I unfortunately could not get during the flash sale because pre-orders did not count. And this is spy number 1195 from 2001, the Spain horror film, The Others, starring Nicole Kidman. It's kind of coincidence that I'm talking about this movie because just a few days ago, on the 15th of this month, Criterion announced To Die For, the Gus Van Sant movie starring Kidman. And although I've not seen Moulin Rouge yet, but I really loved Kidman's performance in this, and it's a really cool gothic horror movie that I really did like. Like, there's not a lot of jump scares. It's just like it's the sound that really works well. And I was a little bit confused at the opening credits because they were all in Spanish, but then again, this movie was made in Spain, which is by Alejandro Amenábar, which I forgot to mention that was the director of this, so I think I just didn't want to avoid that. But yeah, this movie was just so really scary with the sound designs and how it was. It didn't get nominated for any Oscars because, of course, the Academy doesn't like horror movies a lot. Well, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But it was close to getting probably in, like for sound or something like that, because Kidman did got in drama, motion picture actress in a drama at the Globes because she was in the motion picture musical or comedy side for Moulin Rouge, and it was up for original screenplay and lead actress at the BAFTAs, which I believe she was also up for Moulin Rouge because you can do a double nomination in the same category, which you can't do at the Oscars, specifically in the acting ones alone. So I have not seen Moulin Rouge yet. I don't know when I'll get to it soon because I am watching a lot of the Oscar movies of the 2000s. I don't know when I'm going to get to it. But I will see which one of the two I think was better. I can't really say, but Kidman is really great in this movie. And with that being said, that's kind of the wrap up of the last Criterion Blu-ray video of 2023. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see how 2024 will go with their new releases and what other 50 movies will join in the collection. And probably after the 50s, I will most likely do a Blu-ray collection video.